Why the fuck is the counting taking so long? The last time we watched white people count so intently, they were counting us. They were. They were like 268, 269, 270 slaves on the ship. Here we go. Why is the counting taking so long? Outsource that shit to us, man. We'll count, we'll give you a president in 45 minutes, I promise you. If you don't like him, fuck, we will change your plan in 45 minutes. Present you a new plan. Like, if you give us 10 future candidates and their place of birth and their time of birth, we will tell you who's going to be president in 2028. You'll be like, Kamala ka Ketu is very strong, but her Rahu is weak. I don't know, it feels like such an inefficient system, their election. Can we agree? Yeah? Like, it's so inefficient to declare the winner after the election. That's why I like it here. We know who's going to win way before the election, right? We don't wait around for a whole fucking election because in India, we don't declare the winner of an election. We abandon the loser of an election. Because it's a parliamentary system. So halfway through the election, people recognize that the guy's going to lose and they're like, I'm sorry, Rahul. And they start jumping ship. In America, they waste all this time. They have to come up with all these slogans and it just feels like such a waste of time. Like Trump's slogan is fucking make America great again. You know, Biden's slogan is who am I? How did I get here? What's my name? I don't know. Right? Do we waste time with slogans? No. Do you know what Narendra Modi's slogan is? Modi. That's how he won an election in the largest democracy in the world. He went to people and he's like, hey, Modi. They're like, okay, Modi. I think the big sort of scary takeaway for me in this election, and a lot of the media was talking about it as well, is that not just white people voted for Donald Trump. That's the big trip on this. You know what I'm talking about? Immigrants, minorities voted for Donald Trump, and that's what's shocking America. But I kind of get it, if I'm being honest, because you know, like Mike Pence looks like white people designed a white guy. Like if you put 5 white guys in a room and you're like, make a white guy, they'd be like, yeah, Mike Pence. Donald Trump looks like 4 immigrants designed a white guy. You know, 4 immigrants has got in the room to make a white guy, and the Indian was first. He's like, okay, we will make him tall and fat. He will look prosperous. Right? And then the Mexican was like, I want him to look exotic and like sun-kissed, man. Like he just came off a beach, you know? Like a beach of a private island owned by a sexual predator. And then an African was like, I want him to have small hands. I want him to have a mouth so small, when he sips from a straw, it should look like he is drinking from a glass. And then a Russian walked by like, I will tell him what to say, don't worry. I was thinking about this, like, you know, it is easy to be mean to America in this moment. It is. And don't we enjoy it just a little bit? We do. Because, you know, America was like the hot girl who was mean to everybody in high school. Like she was just her and her 2 other hot friends, Britain and Europe, and they were just bitches to everybody in high school. You know, they'd take all your money, they'd never let you into their party, but then they'd show up to your house and clean out your basement, whatever was underground, they'd take it. You know, and then they'd hook up with your friends and you'd never see your friends again. You'd be sitting at lunch like, where's Saudi? And Saudi's like, I cannot be seen with you anymore, I'm with America. And then Saudi'd be back like a month later, she was just using me. And you'd be like, hey man, forgive and forget. And he's like, yeah, sure. He doesn't forget. You know, and then you graduated from high school and you didn't hear from America for a while, but you heard like she had a series of bad relationships, nobody knew where she was. And you heard that Britain and Europe got married, but that didn't work out. Then they got divorced and they were separated and going to get divorced, but there was like a custody battle and their kid Scotland hated both of them. It's like a weird thing, nobody was leaving on time. And then like one day you were walking down the street, you know, and then suddenly from behind you, you heard rest of the world from high school, and you turned around and you were like, America? And she just let herself go, you know. And you know, in that moment, you looked at her and you were like, this, you know, what's going on in your life? And she's like, oh, it's tough, you know, I don't have any money, and you know, it's been a tough sort of 20 years, and I work in a Chinese restaurant. My boss is really hard on me, he doesn't pay me that much. And you started to feel sad for her, you know? And then while she was talking to you, suddenly this guy came up from behind and just grabbed her by the pussy. And you're like, oh, America, are you okay? And she's like, oh, that's my husband, it's fine. And you're like, are you sure? And she's like, yeah, I'm fine, I swear to God, I'm fine. And she left and you felt bad in your heart. And then 4 years later, you were like on her Facebook profile and you heard she was single again. She broke up with the guy. She dumped him, not even in person, she wrote him a letter, like through the postal system she dumped him. You know, and she was dating like an older guy and he wasn't fully coherent, but like your third cousin knew him, they worked together. And she gave him a good recommendation. And in that moment you were like, you know what, good for you, America. Good for you, you took your life back together. I wish you well. And you put your Facebook off. And in the reflection of your laptop, you saw somebody standing behind you. And it was your partner. And they were like, what the fuck are you looking at? You're like, nothing, baby. And they're like, are you looking at America? Don't get any fucking ideas in your head, alright? I'm the best you can do. I'm all you deserve. And you're like, baby, I have questions. Fuck you. You don't get to ask me any questions. You have any questions for me? You go live in the neighbor's house. Alright? You go ask him fucking questions. And you're like, I don't want to live in the neighbor's house. He plays nice music, but he scares me. That's goddamn right. Alright? Now you shut the fuck up. This is where you live. Now you get in the kitchen and make me a cup of GST. That's what you fucking do. And that's, you're just in the kitchen thinking, fuck, I should leave, but this is my house. I live here. I own this place. I still feel like leaving. And that's democracy. So when I see America, I have hope. Like fucking Trump's speech 2 days ago, he was speaking and then 5 major networks cut Trump off in the middle of his speech. Did you see that? That's hope, that's power. I cannot think of one Indian journalist. Actually, that's just the end of the sentence. I can't think of one Indian journalist.